Welcome to the Town Toyota Center. Town Toyota Center, a sports multiplex in the city of Wenatchee, named for the Town Toyota car dealership. What would the AARP think if they knew that the little town of Wenatchee, that they just recently named as one of the 10 best places to retire in the country, was on the verge of bankruptcy due to this little-known Town Toyota Multiplex Sports Center. It's a fine-looking arena, actually. It houses a Wenatchee Wild hockey team and some other sports activities, a country western concert here and there. But in no way has it managed to pay for itself. And the city of Wenatchee, who, in their wisdom, the city council voted a few years ago, believe it or not, to co-sign for the loan. The city of Wenatchee had a perfectly functional, although old and not very fancy, city ice arena that was home to the local kids' hockey teams and was open for the public. It was old, small, nothing like this fancy arena that they have today. And then along came a fellow with a dream. He wasn't from Wenatchee, but he had been part of building ice arenas in small towns across America. He sold the city on a grand scheme, a scheme to build a wonderful sports arena that would house ice rinks suitable for a regional hockey team, and that could be used for a number of other activities, from concerts to other sporting events, indoor soccer, many uses. And he promised that it would pay for itself quite easily. All they'd have to do is keep it busy, and the money would roll in. Yes, the money would roll in with high income producing activities such as the quilt show. Of course, there's the Wild, that's the local and new local hockey team, who, as you can see, will be playing against Odessa in October. And they are going to have B.B. King. They do get some concerts here. And the idea was that the town of Wenatchee could really put itself on the map. Could be part of something bigger. Could have a real professional, or at least semi-professional, sports team. And besides the professional hockey rink, there would still be a community ice rink for the public to use. Now, isn't that nice? All that was necessary was money. And money was just not something that anybody really had enough of to build this wonderful sports multiplex. And so, how would it be done then? How would they build this great edifice to the human spirit, this center for competitive sports, this jewel in the crown of the city of Wenatchee? Why, they'd have to borrow money. But who would borrow the money? It would be the entity that was created of 9 cities and counties that would be of a regional ownership. But who would guarantee the loan? This entity didn't have the credit unto itself. Step in the city of Wenatchee. The city of Wenatchee so believed in the sports arena, which didn't necessarily have the Town Toyota name on it at that point. But nevertheless, they believed in it, and they believed in it so hard that if they could just believe hard enough and strong enough, it would happen. And so the city council had a vote. And the vote that the city council had was to guarantee the loan. And the city of Wenatchee went out on a limb, or I should say the city council of the city of Wenatchee put the voters and the taxpayers of the city of Wenatchee out on a limb in voting to guarantee the loan, so that if the entity that owns this center can't pay the payments, the City of Wenatchee is on the hook for it. I would say that's co-signing a loan, which anyone who's ever been asked by some friend, neighbor, or distant relative, maybe your spouse's second cousin by marriage, to co-sign a loan so that they can buy a brand new Corvette that they cannot afford, anyone who's been in that position knows that the answer should be no. Do not co-sign for a loan for somebody who can't afford to buy what they want to buy on their own and does not have the credit to do so. But that common sense wisdom that any mature person has about not co-signing for a loan was forgotten by the grand leaders of the City of Wenatchee, which is surprising, as the leaders in this area are all conservatives, as this is the red part of the state of Washington. So what happened? The town Toyota Center, as it turns out, does not make enough money to pay for itself, and the period after which they need to refinance from their current interest-only loan to a real loan that would be paying off the debt, that has to happen within a month or two. And the City of Wenatchee is going to be on the hook for this wonderful town Toyota Center. Only problem is the City of Wenatchee can't afford to make the payments, not without some serious cut. What kind of cuts do you say? Well, let's see about that. This is the area of Wenatchee where there used to be a trailer park. It was pretty much a low-income housing kind of place. But in part of the real estate property shuffling around that took place between the movers and shakers of the City of Wenatchee, this land was cleared out, that new road was put in, and a lot of new business and commercial activities were supposed to go in. Well, as you can see, the new commercial activities, businesses, etc. that were supposed to go in there haven't really taken shape yet. And as you look down there, you can see this land does actually come right up to the river, riverfront property. Beautiful. But there it is. Money was made, money changed hands. The people were cleared out that lived in the low-income housing. And to date, no commercial enterprises. Here we have this lovely park in Wenatchee right up against the riverfront area, which has the famous Wenatchee Apple Capitol Loop Trail running through it that I myself and many other people ride every day. It's a beautiful place. And it happens to be right across the street from what was the old City of Wenatchee Ice Arena. And here we have the inside of what was the old City Ice Arena. The area where the ice was is still there, but today they play things like indoor soccer, dodgeball, and other activities here. It's still in use. It wasn't torn down. Would it have been suitable for a semi-pro hockey team? That's a question that I can't answer. Now, for a professional or semi-professional hockey team, maybe it wasn't fancy enough, didn't have enough seating, didn't have enough bleachers perhaps. There are upstairs bleachers and downstairs bleachers, but it was here and it was functional. But it wasn't very fancy. No, it was just what the people of the City of Wenatchee had been able to make use of for many years. without any difficulty. Yes, it didn't have the fancy upstairs box seats that the new town Toyota Center has. But the people of Wenatchee got an awful lot of use out of this when it was an ice arena. They still are using it today for the sports activities that take place here. Welcome to the City Hall of the fine city of Wenatchee. This is the place where the decisions were made, the votes were cast, the die was cast for the debt that shall define the city of Wenatchee for perhaps decades to come. This is where the action took place that put the city of Wenatchee on the verge of bankruptcy. Two buildings put together, connected by that causeway up there. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is really quite a jewel in the crown of this small town. There are so many arts and cultural activities that take place at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. It's involved in so many activities in this town that the town would really have lost something special if they were to lose this museum. This is the Maple Street Station of the City of Wenatchee Fire Department, located here at 1420 Maple Street. As you can see, it's a small satellite fire station for the City of Wenatchee Fire Department. It's been in existence for at least a couple of decades, maybe longer. And it serves the northern part of the City of Wenatchee. And of course, this fine, functional, important addition to the fire department of the City of Wenatchee is itself at risk of being closed down due to the financial debacle that is the town Toyota Center. What will the people of this part of town do if it adds an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes to get a fire truck to their home or business to put out a fire? Could all of these homes in this neighborhood be at greater risk because of the town Toyota Center? All of that's possible. This whole part of town and beyond what we can see here, certainly down to the commercial district down there as well, and the school right next door, Foothills Middle School, would all be without a local fire station